Well, today we have Gary Kalsrud, and Gary has his 51 Mercury. And you want to tell us a little bit about the history on this Mercury, how you arrived at this particular car and your addiction to the 51 Mercury?
Well, I was in the market for buying a car, and I only had so much money in my pocket. And I went to Riggin Motors in Devil's Lake, North Dakota, and it was the best car on his used car lot that fit my wallet. So I really didn't have any desire for any particular brand, but it happened to fit dollar-wise. And of course, I bought the car, and I've had it now for almost 57 years. But it turned out to be a real good car.
But you've redone this car, haven't you?
Yes, I drove it and kind of used it up, if you will. My dad put a rebuilt motor in it, and it ran so good I took it back and drove it again. And then I brought it up to the farm, and it sat there. And I got up there one time, and I started it up and put it in the shed. It sat there for 30 years.
Wow.
So in 1993, a farmer friend of mine up there said he'd help me take it apart, and we finished it in 5 years. So in 1998, we had the finished product.
Wow. And Mercuries were kind of unique. That was just a step above the Ford. And this particular body style then was introduced in 49. Was it 49, 50, and 51?
Yes.
For this particular one. And did they still call them an 8, or was that 8 designation dropped when it got to 49?
Well, it's got the flathead V8 in it, 112 horsepower. They had a few more horsepower than the Ford.
Yes.
It had a 235 cubic inch engine, and so they still designated it as a Mercury 8, I believe, during that time frame.
Right. The hot rodders all wanted to go to the Mercury rather than the Ford. What particular features does this 51 Mercury have?
Well, it's not overly featured. It does have the most notable one probably being the overdrive, and which gives you a little bit better gas mileage and reduces the RPMs on the engine. Other than that, it was just kind of a basic plain car, and so it didn't have any special features as such.
Okay, well, we're going to get a look at some of these items in a way, Gary, and we want to thank you today for showing us this car.
The pleasure's all mine.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.